Welcome to the Self-Awareness and Self-Compassion Podcast, formerly known as the Full Spectrum Feeling Podcast. I'm your host, Blaise Schwaller, life coach, mom, and former tattoo artist. I help people heal their past, speak their truth, and love the lives that they're living now. Join me here every week for conversations on how to live an imperfect but fully engaged life that embraces all the feels so that you can stretch into your best life while enjoying the you that's here right now. Guys, it's Thanksgiving weekend in the United States, and I wanted to talk about rituals and holidays. And you know what's interesting is we talk so much about how holidays are stressful and there's so much to prepare for and all the things that we have to do. And sure, that's one aspect of it. But I actually want to talk about the joy of gathering and the rituals and holidays that we have the power to make in our own lives. So Thanksgiving comes with a lot in the United States. There's the history of the whole celebration. What does it even mean? Is the history taught to us correctly? And I've always struggled with that, even as a little kid. But what I actually remember about Thanksgiving gatherings is how much I love laughing, being with my friends, and eating really yummy food. And one of the most awesome holidays that my family tradition now has is a holiday I call Practice Thanksgiving. And I wanted to share that with y'all today because it's the best holiday ever and everyone should have it. And I will teach you all about it right now. So when I first met my husband back when we were dating, we had first moved in together and we were having our first Thanksgiving at our place. And I was really excited and nervous because I wanted to host my family and host my friends and have them all come out. But I had never made a turkey before in my life. And I had no idea how to prep it, what to do, like how to even fit it in the oven. I felt like I'm a tiny person. How am I going to lift this giant bird into the oven? How do you stuff it? How long does it go in for? Do you glaze it? Do you baste it? Like I had no idea what the heck I was doing because I think I was 24 at the time and it was a big deal. And I wasn't sure how to do the side dish prep. And I didn't want everybody to bring stuff at that particular, like for Thanksgiving. I just wanted to prove that I was an adult and I could make all of the things and you could just show up at my house and have a beautiful meal. And as a side note, I think that's where all the stress around these holidays come from. It's thinking, my God, like idiots that we need to do all of the prep all by ourselves as one person and be a perfect hostess and all this. So my wonderful husband, boyfriend at the time, looked at me stressing out and said, you know what, let's just not do this. Like it's going to be fine. I can show you how to do it. We'll do it together and we'll figure it out. Why don't we just do a practice? Like a practice Thanksgiving where you don't have to worry if it goes horribly wrong. We'll invite our friends over instead of family and we'll just figure it out. And I thought, you know what? That sounds excellent. And so we were in charge of figuring out how to do the crazy turkey. I invited a bunch of our friends and we were like, okay, come over for games. Bring a dish that you want to learn how to make. You can practice with it. It doesn't have to come out perfect. Try something that you've never made before. And if it comes out gross, we'll let you know. But hopefully enough of our dishes will come out okay that it won't suck. And then we'll have learned something and we'll be able to go into the actual holiday armed and ready. We'll know what to do next week. So literally like our first practice Thanksgiving was the week before real Thanksgiving. And it turned out to be the most fun ever. Like it was just, the turkey came out great. The side dishes that people brought came out wonderful. We experimented. We tried things. It was fabulous. And I thought, okay, great. Then we had real Thanksgiving and that went off without a hitch because we had practiced and all was great. And I did it and the food was nice. And I knew what fun dishes to do on the side and it all felt very gourmet and fabulous and put together. But a few months later, in the middle of the spring, I thought, you know what? I just want to have another practice Thanksgiving because I love the food and I love the people and I loved how jolly the whole holiday was. like it felt like the real spirit of what Thanksgiving should be, is that you're thankful that you have these people in your life. You're thankful that you're able to make food like on a scale that's generally not what you would ever make for yourself, but it's because you're sharing with your friends and everyone gets to, swap and try food that they wouldn't normally eat and have something that's just not in their recipe lexicon, and ask for a recipe. And there's like a huge amount of exchange and just people laughing and inviting friends from other states and across the country, like just come out and have fun. And we're going to have a big gathering with lots of food and laughter and fun. And it became something that we started doing really at least twice a year. And honestly, in my heart, it's kind of replaced real Thanksgiving, because this is how I want my holiday to feel and how I want to plan it. And I want it to be open for all of the people that I care in my life. And what's interesting is I practice Thanksgiving because I would hold it whenever the hell I felt like it. I actually could get all of my friends to come. I could have a gathering of people from even out of the country come and enjoy this ritual, this holiday, without them already having other plans or having other obligations. Because, in the United States, I think the big holidays are Thanksgiving and Christmas and Halloween. And then probably Valentine's Day has a big deal about it too. But the ones where you gather with your family and you're having a big meal, Memorial Day, Labor Day, like those big holiday long weekends, people get the day off and you get together and you have food with your family and often with friends. But we have a very set standard for, well, mom and dad have to come, or it's always hosted at so-and-so's house. And there's like a lot of rules that we get handed down or inherit around the actual physical date of that holiday. Whereas if you take the spirit of a holiday and just move it to some other day and say, hey, we're just going to celebrate this idea, everyone can come and have a really great time. And it has so much less pressure. And all of the people that you want to come probably can make it at one time or another. And so when we bought our first house, we were really excited to hold a practice Thanksgiving celebration in which all of our friends from all over could come and just see our new digs and have wine. And like we had a big fire pit and have a turkey, and we had relatives come. And it was just this marvelous exchange. And in this gathering, like the dishes that people brought were just wild creations. Like, I want to do something crazy with cranberries, or I'm going to try a vegetarian version with no like cream in it of potatoes. Like, this is where we learned how to do avocado whipped potatoes and see how it was. And it was actually delightful to have dishes that sucked as well as the ones that were really good. So, you'd pick from anything and you would feel free. Like, no one was offended if your food came out bad. You weren't like, oh God, I have to go to Gladys's party and I'm going to have to eat their horrible whatever. Like, you didn't have to do that. And you got to bring something you'd rather eat instead and share it. Or you could try something that you'd always wanted to do and see how it came out. And if it came out great, you would have like triumph of the party. Everyone's like, oh my God, your cookies are amazing. And if it was awful, we'd all be like, whoa, we're going to just, let's throw that on the fire pit. But no matter what happened, you felt happy because you learned, you grew, you laughed with your friends, you had a good drink. They often turned into like these giant sleepovers. And yeah, I feel like everybody needs that kind of permission to make your holiday as freaking joyous as you want it to be, and to have permission to make it what serves you, what makes you excited to get together with all these people in your life. And I know that this goes live on Friday, so a lot of people have already had Thanksgiving yesterday on Thursday. And some of you are doing it today, and some of you will be celebrating over the weekend. But what do you need to do to make this gathering, this holiday, and this celebration feel special to you? And what makes it fun for you? Do you like having it be really fancy? I know now that I live with my mother-in-law, like, she really loves like making the table nice and using the special plates and everything. And that's nothing that I've ever cared about, but I'm happy for her that she gets a chance to do that. And that's what makes it special for her. For me, it's about making sure that I can make a food that I will eat because I don't do the dairy and I tend to cut out the sugar. So I make things a little differently, and we always want to have some vegetarian stuff for my nephew. And I enjoy the food aspect as well as knowing that we're getting together to play, that there's a gathering and it's not just about sitting around a table and quietly talking and eating. It's like, it's raucous. It's people laughing and sharing what's going on in their lives. It's playing new games and playing like the silly games that we play a lot. Like, we don't even do Pictionary in this house anymore now. It's all like hive mind and calling people out. And what do you think someone else at this table would think about blah, blah, blah. And how many people agree. Like it's evolved into crazier games, but it's a lot of fun. And I look forward to it so much. And I think it's neat as I've gotten older, creating my own new rituals, particularly as I have a kid now. Like, what can I do that helps her be a part of this holiday? So a new one that we started with Thanksgiving was making our Thanksgiving tree. And we'll go out and collect fallen sticks because, you know, we live in New England. Sticks fall off the trees all the time. It's a mess. But we can take the ones from the yard. We put them in a vase. And then we cut out leaves, different colored paper leaves, and we write things that we're thankful for. So it could be people or pets or ideas, activities that we like, colors, just anything that we're grateful for. And we make it into this little display. And she has such a blast with that, being able to call out things that she loves. And it's interesting this year now, she's into upgrading. Her love for everything has upgraded. She says she loves them even more than she did last year. And it's just such a delight. And to feel her enthusiasm and include her in creating these new rituals and things that we get to do is fabulous. And it's happening even, you know, with Christmas, like getting to relive a holiday through your kids' eyes is interesting. And it lets you really recapture some of that wonder and impart some of like the wisdom, I guess, that you gained through growing up and what you think is important. What I really want to say is I'm grateful. This year has been incredible. So much has happened. Like I can't believe it's the end of freaking November already. How did that happen? We're quickly rolling into the next year. But in this year, I guess I would describe it the way my daughter does. I've upgraded myself so much. I've upgraded my heart, my ability to care, my ability to show up, my capacity to handle discomfort, my desire to connect with other people. And I've made that commitment to myself to show up and keep evolving and do better. And I've seen it through. Like at the beginning of the year, I started this podcast as a whim. Like I decided I was going to do it 3 days before January 1. And then I think January 1, I recorded and put out my first podcast. And I've done one every week since. And that was huge. That was huge. I'm so thankful to have faced that fear, learned the thing, done the posts, broadcast it and not hidden under a rock. I'm thrilled to have connected with all of you and to have, you know, a listenership, is that a word, of people that are here hanging out with me and going on the ride. I've shown up for myself even when it got hard, when work and school and all of the things just still seemed to be on that COVID backlog where just shit wasn't working, but somehow we all made it work. And I'm grateful just that humanity, my people, like you all keep showing up and we're all doing our best. And I look out and I see that and I have such appreciation and compassion for it. And I just want in my heart to bless all of us with a fabulous holiday, an awareness of how hard we've been working, how much we deserve to enjoy the time that we take to gather, whether it's gathering with ourselves or gathering with a partner or our loved ones or friends or whoever it is. Man, these moments are precious. And I am so, so grateful for that this year. So I'm wishing all of you a genuine Thanksgiving. And I think that's what practice Thanksgiving for me is. It's a genuine Thanksgiving. It's not just, oh, it's the holiday, it's time to eat a turkey. For me, it's like, oh my God, I get to be so thankful for everything. And to just have a day where I get to just gush about that and share it with everyone. So I am actually off to my family's real life Thanksgiving. But in my heart, it's practice Thanksgiving, and it's fabulous. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all next week. Thanks so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and share it with someone you love, and leave us a review. You can learn more and get some self-compassion tips and tricks by visiting coachwithblaze.com, where you can sign up to get my free booklet on overcoming anxiety, overwhelm, exhaustion, and burnout. I'm sending you so much appreciation and love, and I'll see you next time.